Find something you really like, and keep working on it because it's not going to be easy. If you like something and you do it for a long time, and if you're good at it, people will see you. People will want you. Every time that I finish the work, like I did something else in film. It's done. I write a script, go to a course of how to make zombies. It's not only for the design, it's also for the communication. When you work on concept with someone, you need to speak with the same language. So this is the big change that I need to move from art to the game and film industry.
Are you playing it too safe in your career? When you're focused on just getting hired, you might be missing the one thing that actually helps you level up, trying something new. Welcome to The Mo Method, where we talk to creators who turn their passions into professions. Today, I'm joined by Omer Erlich, a 3D and VFX pro whose bold choices took him from traditional art all the way to working on Marvel and DC films. Omer is sharing how constantly pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone leads to growth, what he learned from working on Guardians of the Galaxy, and why artists who evolve are the ones that win.
I start at the Seminar Kibbutzim College. I study art and digital media. I didn't like computer at this point. I go for the art, for the drawing, the sculpturing, the use camera. But when I heard that I have a Photoshop course, and oh my God, what I'm doing here, I didn't sign for it.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, let's do it. We are here. So I take this course and the lecture was horrible. The teacher, I didn't understand anything. I didn't get anything. I didn't know what is Photoshop in this point.
Yeah. So all the other art was all like traditional media? It was, using like on paper, or were you doing it, was it also digital?
Most of the thing was like paper, material, stuff like that. But they also teach like a program for editing, like Premiere, like After Effects, and this kind of stuff. Try to combine between them.
Yeah.
But 1 year later, when I start the second year, I start to study After Effects. And then, I get a very good teacher, which was, it's make everything so fun.
Yeah.
So After Effects was, I can do cool stuff in here. Semester later, I met 3ds Max, and then like my head, oh my God, that's what I want to do in my life.
That was your first exposure to that sort of workflow.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I like to build with cube and shapes, and I draw a lot. But I can say this is the first time that I feel that I'm excited for something that I say, okay, I know what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. What's most of your work focused on? It's mostly focused on 3D modeling, or you're mostly focusing on kind of the VFX side of things?
Right now, I'm an art director, very studio. I make 3D modeling, texturing, rendering in Unity, make sure that the designs work correctly.
Yeah.
Give feedback to everyone for the team.
Yeah.
But most of the year, most of my career, I do like a VFX and 3D modeling, texturing, rendering.
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the VFX or you prefer the modeling?
It's a tough question. I don't know. I don't think it's about like what I prefer. It's about like more about the project, about what I'm going to create.
Yeah.
About the process. 3D modeling, like I said, 3D. If you want like an answer,
you enjoy the 3D modeling more than the visual effects side of things. I hear. I'm in the same way. Like, I did a little bit of I studied a bit of visual effects, and for me, I don't know, visual effects doesn't really do it for me the same way that 3D modeling does, and I feel I don't know, visual effects. I feel like it's a lot of faking things. It's a lot of you got to fake you got to fake the lighting to make it match. To make it look realistic. Like it's a lot of it's very very technical and very like let's try and make it look like it's how it's supposed to look. Whereas 3D modeling, it's more like, this is what I'm making. This is how, I'm working with the actual final product. I like that
Yeah,
a lot better. I find that more enjoyable personally. So let's go back to your schooling. So you started there, and then you saw 3ds Max, you said.
yeah.
And then at that point, where'd you kind of go from there?
Uh, okay, so I graduate and started looking for a job. Find myself in a architect simulation and a short film, like do a little bit VFX for films, um, basic animation. And at some point, I say, okay, I'm doing martial art a lot,
Uh,
and I say, like all my life, like 30 or something like that. So I say, okay, animation, maybe it's a good direction for me.
yeah.
So I go and try to focus in character animation. So I go to IAC and take a
Oh,
course
nice.
that focus only in that, uh, all day, all night, character
Yeah.
animation. And
How long ago were you in IAC?
um, 1 year program.
Uh-huh.
Um, I take a course in ZBrush.
Oh,
I
very
want
nice.
to get better at characters.
Yeah.
And at that point, I started to teach in John Bryce College, 3ds Max,
Uh-huh.
and VFX. In the same time, my friend that trained me in martial art told me, "Oh, Omer, there's a guy here that graduated film school and he want to make a movie with ninja and stunt."
See, like, sounds perfect.
Yeah, like film and martial art, like
Yeah.
it's meant to be.
So that was animated or that was live action?
It was live action.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a VFX supposed to get into it,
Yeah.
but I go there to be a stuntman.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I met Aaron Jinchashvili. We call him Jinji.
Uh-huh.
He was the director of this film.
Okay.
And me and him, we became close. And at some point, like the Guardian of the Galaxy was released in the same time, and I told myself, okay, this kind of thing I want to do.
Yeah.
And in Israel, I can't see it happen.
Yeah.
And suddenly I find myself sitting with him, drinking a beer, and he tell me, Omer, I want to move to Canada. I want to do like, and I'm like, oh shit. I said that I want to leave. Let's see what's going on in Canada.
Yeah.
So yeah, we think about that. Let's do it. But everything sounds like it's not gonna happen. It's fun to talk about.
Right, right.
You know,
Fun
those
to-
moments that you speak with your friend about your dream, but
Yeah.
both of you are not really delivering it.
Yeah. My mother would always say, planning's an activity too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this is like right after school. You had just graduated from animation when this is happening?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Before I graduate, I speak with a friend that study with me, and they want to move to Germany. There's a great studio there, and I actually go to Duolingo, and I said, "Fuck, I'm going to the. I don't know if I can speak
Yes.
language like that." Yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. So I go to Duolingo and start to study German.
Okay.
And after that, like I say, I met him and we talk about Canada and what opportunity we have in Germany, what opportunity we have in Canada.
Yeah.
So I start to look school to. It was the best way to get your visa and go there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I sign up. I take a loan from the bank. I get everything ready. And in this point, I still didn't believe that I'm going there. It's like it's still in my mind. It's like my friend think
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about things. And suddenly I find myself with the ticket in my hand, and then like,
Wow.
oh shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know English at all at this point.
Uh-huh.
I was horrible student in high school. Like I didn't speak English at all.
Wow.
and like, well, what I'm going to do there, how can I
Yeah.
manage. Uh, so I don't know anyone. Okay, I have a ticket. Let's do it.
Yeah. Where in Canada were you going? Is it Toronto or one of the big cities or?
Vancouver.
Okay, very nice.
So I go to Vancouver and I start there. It's a mentorship. Like if you have already knowledge, you don't have to do all the program like
Right.
1 year, or I don't remember, 2 year program. So I go to 4 month program. They call it mentorship. You just sit with your mentor and you work on your reel that you can send them.
Yeah.
So there I met Chris Nichols. He works in digital domain.
Hmm.
I think he's still working there. So I start to work on my robot.
Oh, very cool. That's like your profile picture, and when you first open your website, it's the first thing you see. You know, it's the robot.
Yeah, the robot with the topology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was your first. That was your first like big project, you'd say.
Yeah, my biggest project until this point.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, like 100, 200,000 objects. I don't remember, like it was,
Yeah.
a big project. When I finish it, I don't think it was like one of the best project out there,
Hmm.
but I understand that they get the job when they with the people that are working at Scanline.
Yeah.
It was about attention to details
Hmm.
and that I told the story behind
Yeah.
the model. There's no animation, there's no big environment, it's just a model of a robot. But what the main point it was the story.
Right.
Story is there, like the texture tells a story, the kind of metal. To understand if someone built it with his hand or it's in factory.
Right.
Those kind of stuff that make
Let's sell it. Let's sell
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
And so I get a few interviews there. I start to work at Scanline VFX.
Uh-huh.
I work there. They work on Guardian of the Galaxy in that point.
Okay.
So I get another opportunity in the Method Studio in ILM.
Hmm.
But Scanline work on Guardian of the Galaxy, and I say, I don't care what anyone doing.
That was the dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I get the Scanline. The coordinate came to me and tell me, Omer, you work on Power Rangers. They work on a few projects
Right.
at the same time.
So you signed up for Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you get put on Power Rangers.
Yeah. I'm working on Scanline. I'm working on this kind of movies. I can't complain.
Right. Right. So for you, this is like the dream. This is
Yes. Another story. Before I graduate, I get my visa, my student visa. It's over, and I need to make a new one. So I apply online, and they send me a message. And my English is not so good. Even now, probably you can say that my English is so I understand that they say that they didn't get they don't going to extend my visa.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh no, I need to go home.
Right.
I know
Right.
that visa, I need to go home. All the loan that I take, all the money, and I can't work. In the same
Right.
time, when I've been in Canada, I can study there. I can't work.
Right. It was a student visa, not a working visa.
Yes. So all the process, all what I did, it's going to, and it was, I get the message like around 11 midnight, something
Yeah.
like that. And no one at school, only me and
Yeah.
few students. So I ran all around the school, find someone that I know how to read English
Yeah.
probably. I find a girl, I don't know her. I grab her, come sit on this, this chair, start to read. And No, it's okay. You just say that they get it and they not decided and
Uh-huh.
let you know.
Okay. So
Oh,
it's a sigh of relief.
yeah, exactly. My interview in Scanline also was a bit creepy.
Uh-huh.
I get in, they have like a theater inside the studio.
Okay.
So the interview happening in the theater.
Okay.
So I get into the theater and I see my showreel on a big
Oh,
screen.
wow.
And like, oh God,
Oh man.
they're gonna see every mistake.
Right,
If I
right.
have a mistake, they're gonna find
They're
it.
gonna see it on the big screen.
Yeah, and I met Tom and I think Randy. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I like this interview. I like the
Uh-huh.
interview because they ask me questions that they really want me to know. That's the
Yeah.
important thing. It's
Yeah.
like some unnecessary test. I've been in many interview and most of the places ask questions that make you uncomfortable,
Uh-huh.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
When I looking for talent to work in the studio.
Yeah.
Say, I need one, two, three.
Right.
Okay. Um, so I take a look on the show reel. I see everything. I invite him. I ask him, you can do this, this, this. Tell me about your process. I see if you understand what they are doing.
Right.
That's what I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after this interview, I told myself if I'm looking for people to work for me,
Yeah.
this is
This is the
I'm
way
ready.
to interview people. Like this is how to interview people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 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 So how long were you with them for?
Ah, um, 1.5 year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what else did you work on there? So you did Power Rangers. I saw on your website, you worked on a lot of superhero
Yeah,
films. So
yeah.
was that with them or was that also at other studios?
In this studio,
Uh huh.
and as I say, I work on Power Rangers, and I start to notice that they're gonna finish the work on Guardian of the Galaxy, and I'm still working on Power Rangers. So I talked to my coordinate. Can I move to Guardian of the Galaxy?
Yeah. It's a little more exciting.
And she's like, I see what I can do. And, and suddenly, the supervisor for Guardian of the Galaxy come to me. Omer, you're moving to Guardian of the Galaxy. What do you like to do? You like modeling, texturing,
Yeah.
lighting? What do you like to do? So I like modeling.
Yeah.
So I start to model. I start to work on environments there. I start with trees that need to get a simulation, like the blob blue monster, and
Okay.
broke the tree. So I start to texture modeling, make them prepare them for simulations, stuff like that, and then start to build the environment.
Uh huh.
I was in the generalist department, but I'm not like doing texture modeling, lighting. It's not working work like that.
Uh huh.
Everyone, like you have department,
Yeah.
everyone do his part. When I moved to different show, after that, for example, I work on Justice League, so I do lighting in Justice League. I'm
So
not
each
like,
project you're in a different department.
yes,
Uh huh. Let me ask you, just out of
yeah,
curiosity, this is just more of a technical question that I'm just curious because I saw a little bit on your website. How exactly does it work with simulations? What's kind of the process when they're doing simulations? Because obviously, these things are done on a very large scale, right? Very, very high polygon counts. What's the process of making a simulation to make it work without being too heavy for the machines to process, but still getting that cool, the effect you want?
okay. So you model what you want, like high quality, so
Yeah.
make sure it's look good on the screen. From there, you model the same thing, like low poly as possible,
Uh huh.
but still match to the shape of
Yeah.
the tree, the building, or whatever. Okay? and you make the simulation with a low poly.
Uh-huh.
For example, you have a car that crash into the trees,
Yeah.
break the trees. So you have low poly of the car, low poly of the trees. The car hits the trees, break them. You have fast simulation because everything is low poly.
Yeah.
And so now you have the trees animation like explode or move or whatever.
Right.
Um, and then you replace the low poly car with a high poly car.
Mm-hmm.
And when you render it, you render only the car without the animation because you render because you simulate the animation with the low poly.
Right.
If it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a similar sort of workflow to video games, kind of the high to low, and you kind of are then baking the textures and all that kind of process. So it's interesting. Because I was seeing like like VFX breakdowns, but I never quite understood what the process is behind the simulations. So what other stuff did you do? I saw also you did lighting, you did simulations. What other sort of work were you doing there? Was it also again mostly visual effects based?
Yes, in Scanline, most of the thing was VFX. Some of the shot, it's like fully CG, everything like it's modeling, texturing, and rendering. But some of the shots, like it's combination between shooting and compositing.
Yeah,
and match the lighting that the shot should take on the set and match it with the 3D model. This is actually a process that I learned there. I never done that before. If you know the chrome ball and gray ball on
the what?
You have when you shoot film, you have chrome ball and gray ball.
Okay.
You put them on the set, and they capture.
Oh yeah, like for the like the HDRI. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So you can use the HDRI.
Yeah.
But it's told you more stuff like all the environment reflect, so you can manage like how everything was built around the set.
Yeah.
So not like where the light comes from, like which kind of light they use. What is the size of the light? And in Guardian of the Galaxy, they have seen that Nebula walking into the spaceship.
Yeah.
And she had a metal arm.
Yeah.
And they didn't take a photo of the chrome ball. So we didn't have the environment around her. All the things that need to
reflect and
reflect in their arm, like that does not exist.
Yeah.
So they let me build all the environment, all the spaceship, like low poly. So she have everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know nowadays they're starting to do more of the like what they did over with the Mandalorian, where they have those LED screens now. So it's kind of you don't have to do the light matching and stuff, which makes makes the After Effects a lot easier. Takes a lot of the heavy lifting out. So after you finished over there, where'd you go from there? What was kind of your next steps in your career?
I came back to Israel, and I worked in MD simulation. I work on like a short film, and also architectural a little bit there.
What sort of things were you doing? Like, what kind of architectural things were you doing?
About architecture, I'm more interested is when I work next after this job. I work in 3D vision. I was on the architectural architect visualization.
It's like the digital renderings of projects, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we work with the architect, and he gives us what they want, how it's going to look like. We have the director that I work with, and we make previs. I don't know, you know previs?
Like a preview, like a...
Yeah, like low quality video, how everything gonna look like.
Okay.
In Israel, this one of the things, by the way, that are missing for me in film industry. because like it's pre-production. It's to prepare yourself how the film gonna look like.
Right, right,
Everything gonna be cheaper. Everything gonna be faster.
right.
So after we finish to do that, we start to model everything like high quality. Everyone get like tasks to do, and we compose everything together and make the sound.
So how'd you get from there to what you're doing now? You're doing mostly mobile games now.
Yes. Now I work on a game called HTD.
Uh huh.
It's very studio. I'm the art director there, and I have a art team that
Oh, nice.
yeah.
How do you enjoy games versus the VFX and the movie world? Which do you enjoy more?
I don't know. It's not about like what I enjoy more. Like I
Uh
think it's
huh.
about the project.
Uh huh.
I don't think for me it's not about like game it's better or film is better. It's like
Yeah.
I enjoy the process. I enjoy the design. I enjoy if you have something complex to work on.
Yeah.
To do something that you didn't uh,
Haven't
you
tried
didn't try
before.
before.
Yeah.
Exactly. In the game industry, I have a lot more to learn that I have to
Mm.
learn in the film industry.
Yeah.
So it's more exciting for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I have a lot to learn on film, like
yeah,
a lot. But when you study something new,
it's more
uh,
exciting. It's fresh.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say somebody who's listening, who's let's say in 3D modeling or kind of starting out or early in their career. How would you say the differences between working in games versus movies? What would you say some of the big differences are?
the difference is the interactive. I think that
Mm.
the interactive. This is the big difference. In film, what I like that you have frame. This is how it's gonna look like.
Right.
Okay, you're not gonna play with it. You're not gonna change what's going on. So you can take this frame and make the design, make everything work perfectly for you. Take it high quality. Um, in games, you don't know where it's gonna look like, which rock under
Right. Right.
which rock the play gonna go.
Right. Right.
So you have, let's say we talk about a big game like open world, and compare like a Marvel movie and
Yeah.
AAA game for this conversation. Okay?
Yeah.
But in the other hand, film like you have. I like in film that you combine between the real world and the computer.
Uh huh.
What you can't do in games.
Right.
I don't know, the explosion, like you explode real dynamite.
Right.
And on the sand, you have sand all over the place, and then go take it to Houdini or whatever, and combine between them.
Yeah.
But in game, I love it. It's more, you can get into it more like in a movie for me. Like if I
Uh
play
huh.
something scary, I don't think I can scare in film like I scare in game.
Interesting. Because you're saying that the games are more immersive, so
More immersive.
you're more in it.
Yeah, like I can find myself like shake
Uh
in the
huh.
middle of the game, kill the boss, and I look my hand like it's shaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
You
is a
say
fun.
yeah. Yeah. Because you're more involved, so therefore
Exactly.
you're more immersed. So therefore, it's more that the stakes are higher. It gets the emotions are
Yeah,
higher as well.
I find myself scared in movies, but not like that. Like it's like
Yeah.
oh shit, oh
Right, right. It's like a
what's
jump
on it?
scare. Whereas a game, it's more your adrenaline gets pumping. It really
Yeah,
gets
I'm
you
gonna die.
excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting.
So uh,
They both have their
then
like they both have their pros and cons.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I hear. So the games that you work on, are they mostly mobile games? Because I know mobile games are kind of that's the big
Yeah,
industry in Israel is mobile gaming.
yeah,
That's the big one. There's a lot of questions around the like AAA game industry. There's been a lot of with all there were mass layoffs, a lot of kind of shakeups in the console games. Do you think it affects the mobile game industry at all, or you think it's totally unaffected? And how do you kind of see the mobile game industry playing out over the next 3 to 5 years,
in Israel.
or just in general
Oh,
across the globe?
interesting question. Uh, Hard to tell. It's look like everyone, like in Israel, unfortunately, go to the mobile. They're not looking for like complex design
Yeah.
project. So it's look like it's happening like very slow.
Uh huh.
Uh, Maybe the AI gonna change it, but the thing with AI that I think it's used to be we need to use it for like to make the project like bigger and better.
Right.
And it feel like people in Israel at least, I don't know, I don't want to say anything about the world right now,
Yeah.
but in Israel, it feel like people I can do it in AI, so I don't need the artist. I don't need
Uh huh.
this. I don't need this one. I can do it by myself with more two people and make
Yeah,
it
but then
again.
the quality it gets significantly affected because I mean I've had this discussion a lot with people recently that just about AI in general like the quality is just not there. Like what you're getting out of AI is just not very high quality what you're going to get from an artist. So that's kind of I think a lot of people look to AI to kind of get things done cheaper and faster and easier and whatever, but then you get significant loss in terms of the quality that you're getting out of it as well.
First, this is true, and but even if like let's say 2 years from now, the quality was gonna be perfect,
Yeah.
and you can use it like very easy.
Yeah.
Still, I think we need to look at it as a tool that can make a game or movie like bigger and better, and not like, hey, I can do it by myself now. I
Yeah.
don't need this guy. I don't need this guy.
Right. 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 It's a lot of artists that I've spoken to have said the kind of same or similar to sort of thing where they're all saying that AI is really just boils down to it's just a tool. It's just a new tool in the toolbox, but you still need somebody who knows what they're doing to use that tool to still make whatever it is that you're making, whether it's a game or a movie or it's not the end all be all that kind of could just solve all your problems for you.
True, like we have uh, like artists that she work on the concept art,
Uh huh.
and I don't think someone she worked with AI, she used AI tools, but I don't think someone uh, in our team bring quality like she does.
Right. Right.
She takes something, play it with Photoshop a little bit, come back to AI,
Yeah. Yeah. But again,
uh,
it's still a tool. As in, you're
the
still
tool.
you're still hiring a concept artist who's then using it. So, it maybe helps speed up the process and kind of helps get the results. But you still need somebody again who knows what they're doing to really kind of get the end result that you're looking for.
Yeah, you need to know what you're doing
Right.
and you're doing, and for sure, we need to look at it as a tool, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think mobile games are kind of the future of gaming in general, or do you think that do you think AAA games? I know again, like I know there's just a lot of whatever, a lot of different issues that people have with the kind of the triple A game industry. And so, because of that, you're seeing a lot of kind of indie studios pop up. You're seeing more mobile games pop up. Also, obviously, everyone has smartphones now, so it's a lot easier. Mobile games are a lot more accessible. Do you think that mobile games are kind of going to continue to grow and maybe even overtake the console games at any point? Do you think console games are always going to be, the um, main kind of gaming platform, and then mobile games will always be secondary?
Really, not gonna move so fast to mobile. Maybe
Yeah.
they play mobile, but people that like PC like me or console, they're
Right.
not gonna stop
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
I'm a
Have
PC
you?
guy, and I don't think I can get the same immersive game
Right.
in the PC like I get in console.
Right. Right.
Sorry, in mobile.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been playing around at all with like VR and AR technology at all, or not a whole lot?
I try a little bit less exciting for me. Like I I, I appreciate and I think it's amazing platform to work with.
Yeah.
And we can do a lot of things with it, even more than games. Um, but I prefer the PC in this part.
Yeah. It was like I was thinking with like mobile games and with VR, like I remember like a few years back, I had a Samsung Galaxy. It was a S8, one of those ones. And at the time, they had some sort of promo where if you bought it, you got the Samsung VR headset. So you like plug the phone in, and the phone was kind of the what was being used for the actual device. And I remember being really excited by that and thinking, kind of seeing that as a potential sort of future for mobile gaming and kind of just how people use their phones. But it didn't seem to really stick. It didn't really seem to, in general, the whole VR craze hasn't really
No,
seemed to stick. I mean, Apple tried to do it recently, obviously, and even that didn't really go anywhere.
I I think maybe if it's gonna be cheaper and smaller,
Right, right,
maybe it can work better. But
right. That's the big thing, I think, is the size and the weight of it. I think that's the biggest hang up that people seem to have is the fact that it's very clunky, it's very heavy, it's not enjoyable to use and it's not easy to use. So that seems to be the big hang up.
yeah, some people say that it hurts in the eyes.
Yeah, yeah. People get dizzy. I've heard that.
Exactly.
A lot of people have issues with that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. There's been. I think it's another one of these things that gets very overhyped, but until it actually is implemented mainstream, I think it's gonna be a while still till we really start to see it kind of mainstream. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's very exciting. It's very cool, and there's a lot of potential there.
A
But
lot of
again, just
potential.
the technology just needs to really catch up. That's I think the underlying issue. Yeah. Um, how would you say like your style has changed over the years? Because you kind of jumped around a lot. You've been you have experience in a lot of different disciplines. So do you see a significant change in how you kind of approach projects and how you work on things throughout your years?
Yes, yes. In the techniques side and also from the artistic side.
Uh huh.
Um, I start with art, so everything is more open there. Do what you feel and take it to any direction that you want. But in some point, when I draw, when it happened, I think when and it happened that I study animation.
Uh huh.
I start to look the realism and the detail in a good way and a bad way because I like to do art and uh, paint with I don't know what to call it freedom. I don't know if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want.
Like
Uh,
unstructured kind of.
exactly,
Yeah.
but when you go to company like Scanline, for example, and work on
Right.
Marvel and DC movie. Uh, you need anatomic and you
Right.
need proportions and you need compositing, perspective and stuff like
Right.
that to work. It's like guideline that's you can go widely, but still
Right.
use your guidelines.
Right. Right.
So this is the big change that I did to move from art to the game and film
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah. Was that a difficult adjustment for you to make to kind of go from the more, you know, art for the sake of art versus moving into, more structured, discipline, technical, I guess is the right word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it took time. It took time.
Yeah.
Um, it's not easy process because even before I study art, like since I'm a kid, I'm drawing and I'm drawing, and and I didn't study until I graduate. I didn't study like all the anatomy
Right.
and all the rules.
Right.
So,
Right.
so many years I did like imagination, everything is open. I want
Yeah.
to do a line, I do the line whatever I want. I don't need
Yeah.
like to use the S and the C.
Right. Right.
And so it's take time that, okay, I want a nice pose for my projector.
Yeah.
Let's, I have rule for it.
Yeah.
I want a good expression. I need to work with guidelines.
Within the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, as kind of an art director and somebody who's kind of seen both sides and learned all the disciplines, what in your opinion makes good design? What's something that what are some of the rules that really make something a good design?
I think you need to learn the rule and techniques for design, and only after you know it, start to break it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think this is where I start. It's like I was a beginner artist, and like without the structure of
Yeah.
everything, it's gonna be hard to manage the design.
Yeah.
Um, but I think you need to break those rules to make like something unique,
Mm.
because it's hard to do something new. Like people, it's feel like people did everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do need to break those rules to make something new. But uh, a
You
lot
have
of
to know the rules in order to break them.
exactly, a lot of people are like, this is my style, this is my design.
Yeah.
No, no, you need to know the rules. You need to
Right.
know how to make pose, how to make composition. You need to understand colors.
Yeah.
So
No, it's true. It's like people. I think a lot of people have this misconception where they think that art is very do whatever you want, and maybe that's true for certain kind of postmodernism and kind of the stuff that you see in art galleries where it's kind of like, oh, the rule is that there are no rules and this kind of stuff. But especially when you're dealing in a professional setting, with films and with games and with these things, like there are rules for a reason, and
yeah,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work in a larger setting than just on a canvas.
and it's not only for the design; it's also for the communication.
Right.
Like when you work on concept with someone, or you model the concept of someone else, you need to speak with the same language.
Right. Right. If you look at something, you have no idea what you're looking at. You can't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
After I started to start to work in Scanline, uh, every time that I finished to work, like I did something else in film.
Uh huh.
I did stunt. I write a script.
Oh wow.
I go to a course of how to make zombies.
Uh huh.
Um,
So you've
so
you've seen the film industry from every angle.
yeah, I volunteer to help on set for different. I want to see how this system work. Not like
Yeah.
I know how to model, I know how to texture. That's what I want to do. Let's
Right. Right.
unfortunately, I want to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, when when you do it, you can find a lot of things that's gonna be very fun and interesting to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you kind of see and hope for your career to go, in the future? Like 'cause you kind of from with that perspective, I imagine there's still more things you want to learn, more things you'd like to see. So where kind of do you see like where do you see things going for you the next, whatever 5, 10, 15 years?
It's a good question. I think I want to work to make my own games or to make my own film. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Let's do it from the bottom up.
yeah, but PC for sure.
Yeah, like a triple A style game.
Yeah, help. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. That's creating games. It's more your speed than the film.
depend when you ask me.
At this point, it's games, but a few years ago.
Fine, it's good. But yesterday I speak with my friend in Aaron in Canada,
Uh-huh.
and he told me I work on new movies and
Yeah,
you work on the boys and I want film. I want film.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, if you asked me earlier when I work on the game that I'm working on right now, I don't care about the
Right,
film. I want to do this game.
right, right, right.
But in the end of the day, it's not like it's not about the industry. It's about the project that you work on. For me,
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
understand people that prefer this one or this one,
Right.
but for me, it's more like the project that I work.
Yeah, yeah. What's some advice you would give to somebody who's starting out in their career, wherever it is, whether they want to go into film or games or just concept design? What's some advice you'd give to somebody starting out?
My advice is like to find something you really like, and keep working on it because it's not going to be easy, and you're not gonna finish your school and you get a job. And if you like something and you do it for a long time, you'll be good at it. And if you're good at it, people will see you. People will want you. Then you find out yourself work on something you like. When you wake up in the morning and you realize that you go to work that you enjoying to do. I think it's for me it's more important.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy process. Sometimes it's take a while. But if you like it, if you love to do it,
it'll show.
you're on
If
the
you
right
do what
track.
you love, it'll show in your work.
Yeah, because if you love it, when you come back from work, like you keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You're
do
excited to
modeling.
do it.
I do modeling, but when I finish to work, I keep modeling.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at some point you're going to be good, and
Right.
your work going to be better, and people will see it.
Yeah. Just on that note, I'm curious. Do you continue to work on projects from work, or do you also kind of do your own projects? As in when you finish with your work for the day, you come home. Do you work on your own projects, kind of separate from work, or do you whatever project you're working on, you just continue working on that same one?
I want to start a new project right now.
Uh
I worked on something on a project, but I want to start with it and find the team.
huh.
I have some friends that we talk about to do something together. So I want to uh, make a short script,
Uh huh.
like not like full script, like more idea,
Uh huh.
and take it to them and work on a PC game.
Oh, cool. So you try to
Uh,
kind of do your own personal projects in addition to whatever you're doing
yeah,
professionally.
I want like a horror game for
Oh, cool.
PC, but I want to show them and talk with them to make sure that they gonna enjoy to work on it too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's important to everyone gonna
Yeah,
have
right. Everyone should
fun.
enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
because
again,
it's not project that 2 3 months gonna be
yeah.
ready. If you work on it a long time, you
Right.
need to enjoy it.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. No, and again, gets back to that same point of if everybody who's working on it enjoys it and enjoys the process of it, then the actual final product will be good because
Exactly.
people who are doing it out of love, not because not because oh I have to do this thing because this is a job.
I went home and everyone ate it, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Right. Right. Right, for sure. For sure. So let me ask you, just to wrap things up,
Yeah.
how do you define success in your career?
Do what you love. Like I said, come back home and say, I had fun today.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning and not gonna say, oh, work. Or if I say, oh, it's the weekend, at last the weekend. So I'm not in good position.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is success for me.
Yeah. Being excited by what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only in film and games, like everything you do,
Right. Whatever it is, whether
whatever it is.
a good perspective. I think it's important to do what you love. I think that's one of the most important things that we could be doing. Let me just ask you, just because this is a question I like to try and touch on with people. So I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
And that is, obviously you've had I'd say a pretty successful career. You got to work on a lot of really cool projects. What are some times that you've kind of, wanted to work on things, or you tried to work on things, and times that things didn't work out the way you wanted, and failures that you've had, but despite the failures, you still kind of pushed through, and you still managed to learn from it, grow from it, or move on from it.
When I finish my project in Canada, I start to apply for many places, like every studio in Vancouver. Get my role. I get a lot of uh, negative answers, like unfortunately, we
Yeah.
can. And you did all this process and you work so hard, like between 10 and 12 hours a day. I work on this project
Yeah.
5 months. Um, and I told myself, okay, this is it. This is it. I come back to Israel, going to find a job on something that I don't like, probably.
Right.
I put so much money, so much effort and time. Uh, and this is, I failed. And take it down. I was, I was in the low position.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say depressed, it's a big word, but the thing didn't work for me as I planned.
Right.
But I think this is exactly the time that you need, like, not to give up. So I start keep sending, and when I sent to Scanline, they invite me to interview. I've been in the interview. In the first interview, they told me, no, it's not working. Try in the more heavy or something like that. And I say, okay, I can't take it anymore. I come back to Israel with nothing. A few days after, they told me, okay, Omer, we didn't get it to modeling, but if you want to be a generalist, you're open position. And then it's happened, and I start to work there. Vancouver, it's fun. You walk on the street and see someone jumping for the building and filming, and a zombie sitting on the floor,
Yeah.
waiting to the director, tell them to start and run all over the street.
Right.
So I always told the people about Canada when they asked me, and it's so beautiful story, but there's a lot of hard moment there.
Yeah.
I have a friend there, but it's not like family. It's like
Right.
you are alone, and there's no always someone that take you up.
Right.
So this is like one of the points.
And so how'd you kind of get over that? So just to kind of you kept on trying, you kept on persevering.
I said, okay, I can't find a job here. I don't care. I sent to Toronto. I sent to big company all over the world. When I've been in Vancouver,
Yeah.
I sent all over the world. I say I'm going to overcome it. After a few months that the situation was bad for me, and I say, okay, I'm here. This is the situation. This is what I need to work with, and I start to work hard. I didn't stop, like every day.
Yeah.
Send everything that I can. Go to a job fair. Send every position that I can find, and it's happened.
Very nice. That's
It's
it's
happened.
important, even when things get hard to kind of push through and just
And
keep
it's tough
trying.
industry. It's tough industry.
Right, definitely.
Uh,
But I think it's worth it. It all pays off in the end,
yeah,
most of the
yeah.
time. Very nice. Where can everybody find you online?
Um, Online,
Yeah, where can
I,
people want to find you?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Omer Erlich on LinkedIn.
Great, perfect.
Uh,
Are you on social
yeah,
media?
I don't have Instagram.
Okay.
Uh,
So LinkedIn,
yes,
LinkedIn's
mail or LinkedIn. This is
okay.
where they can find me.
Wonderful.
I have all the details on LinkedIn already.
Perfect.
Uh,
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It
Yeah, it was
was a
really nice
pleasure to
to
be here. It
it was
was
nice to
super
meet you.
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.